as we start taking a look here at the front end, you do have the LED headlights and the signature daytime running lights. Of course, the classic Range Rover grille, with the Range Rover spelled out across the hood there. And one thing I really like here, something you don't see on a lot of vehicles, the vents here on the outside of the front bumper on the front end, those are not just cosmetic. They are actually functional. And of course you can see the sensors and all that good stuff here on the front end. A lot of good safety features on this model. I will list everything on the screen. Maybe not everything, but if you wonder what else may be available on this model, guys, always check the description of the video so that you can see the link to the dealership's website. That way you can get all the information. Of course, power folding, side view mirrors, a lot of really nice features here. And here under the hood is the 3-liter 6-cylinder. This is a turbocharged engine, not hurting for horsepower at 395 horsepower, 406 foot-pounds of torque. And there is the available supercharged 5-liter V8. I'm hoping to get my hands on one of these with another Westminster at the dealership in the near future. But for now, we'll just take a look at this one. But I'll tell you what, it's not hurting for power. When you drop the hammer on this particular model, it definitely gets down the road with no problem whatsoever. And here is your remote that will come with this vehicle. Turn that right side up right there so you can see it. Hopefully not too much of a glare from the sun. And of course you can lock and unlock the doors and open the rear tailgate with the remote. And there's other ways of course to do that, but we'll take a look at the inside. And that is a folding cargo cover right there. I can't reach it with this lower portion open right here, but that is one of the options you have. And of course you can lower your rear seats and lower the vehicle with the buttons right here. The seats are a little slow to move down, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull that back, but just to kind of show you how that works. And you can lower the rear of the vehicle right here. I'm going to do that real quick. I don't know if you can see it lowering on the screen. Hopefully you can, but we'll step back and take a look at it once it's down in its lowest position, letting the air out of the air suspension. As you can see, the back end has dropped. Just makes it a little bit easier to get things out. Now, both the upper and lower doors here are power, so you can close the lower door if you want to with the button right here. Just hit that, and that's going to close that door by itself. Maybe if you need to reach a little bit further in and see what it does for me, that way I can actually lower the cargo cover for you to see right there. Just wanted you to see how that works. Very easy, and that is removable, by the way, guys, just in case you're wanting to know about that. Now let's see if I can do this one-handed. I'm gonna lift up the floor to show you what's underneath. Boy, that's heavy with all that stuff on there. Got a full-size spare tire. Just got my second workout of the day. And here's a nice feature. You have a power outlet back here if that's something you need to take advantage of. And of course, a good old-fashioned 12-volt. And you know, I would like to see a USB port back here, but you know, you can obviously use an adapter for that if you wish to. Very inexpensive, very easy to find at pretty much any store, Target, Best Buy, all that kind of stuff. And of course you can close everything back up automatically, just like this, the same way we opened it. And just taking a quick look at everything here, you actually do have a rear window wiper just kind of hidden away up there. I know the back window is a little bit dirty today. A lot of dirt and dust blowing around because they're doing all the remodeling at the dealership. Obviously the shark fin antenna up there. You've got the rear roof spoiler right here. And we'll hop inside and have a better look at the interior in the back seat. Just a quick look here at the door panel. You can recline the seat backs just a little bit. Of course, nice deep door bins right there. You've got storage on the back of the seats right here. And here is another zone of climate control. And this is actually 4-zone climate control here in this model. I'm gonna hop inside real quick. Why is it 4-zone climate control? You've got dual zone climate control in the front, a 3rd zone here, and a 4th zone includes these upper vents just above the doors. Very, very nice. Plenty of air flowing through here. And you can see everything that you have right here. Of course, you've got USB ports, plenty of connectivity opportunities here. You do have 2 more 12-volt power outlets as well. So technically, again, as we talked about with those adapters earlier, you could actually make this an ability to use 4 USB ports back here if you so desired to do so, with the adapters on those 12 volts, and then of course your 2 built-in USB ports right there. And just a quick little look at the front seat from the rear, and of course there is your panoramic sunroof. I'll try and give you a good view of that as best as I can. I opened the shade on that. But I will say, as we look at the rear seats here, these seats are very, very comfortable. Of course, you've got your drink holders here, a little bit of storage behind those drink holders. So, you know, whatever you want to stash right there that'll fit, that will work. And a nice amount of space here for an armrest as well. Now, before we hop into the front seat, let me just show you something right here with these armrests. I put that armrest down and I'm going to pull that back up. If you've ever wondered what this is right here, you're basically able to bring the height up or down with the armrest that way. See, I lowered it way down compared to what it was before. And then if you go in the other direction, it won't go as far down. So depending on what the front driver and passenger want, see, that's a little bit higher now. So depending on what the driver and passenger want, they can adjust accordingly. Before we hop out of the back seat, I wanted to show you the indicators here on the doors. They're located right here. If you're going to open the door and there's a bicyclist coming or maybe an oncoming vehicle, you don't want to open the door into traffic, it's going to show you right there to take a look and basically let you know something might be coming. And that way, it makes it a whole lot easier to safely get in and out of the vehicle without potentially causing any damage to this vehicle or somebody else's. And of course, as we work our way into the front seat, just a quick look at the door panel here on the driver's side door. Pretty much the same thing you're gonna have on the passenger side. And these are fully power seats, fully adjustable power seats, but notice that there's no adjustment there. That's because everything is up here on the door. Of course, you also have seat memory as well on the driver and passenger side. You get a quick look down in the footwell. And just taking a quick look around, of course, here is your dashboard. Got a picture of your vehicle on there. Essentially, it's not the same color. That would be kind of nice to see, but it is there. Very easy to use. You can work around through the menu here. If you push menu, you can just start surfing through the different options. And I'm not going to go through and talk about every single one, but basically it just shows you what's there and what you can change. And that's not all that you can do. Of course, you can go across what you have on the top and go to different menus and different places with different options for the vehicle. Very, very nice and easy to use. I do like the fact that Land Rover has made this a very easy interior to navigate, even with the great technology here. And of course, you do have cruise control, something you would expect here. You got the shifter paddles if you wish to use that. And there is sport mode available. This is your shifter. In fact, let me show you something about that real fast. When you turn the vehicle off, you notice that the shifter goes back down flush with the console. And it's pretty much presented to you when you hit the start button right here on the dashboard. I'll show you where that is just so you can kind of see that. I'm going to hit that and let you see what happens with the rotary shifter. The vehicle is starting up now, and the shifter is basically, well, presented it to you, so to speak. And all you do is just go into your different gears depending on what you need to do. Very easy to use. And of course, here are some of your other features right here. You can raise and lower the height of the vehicle right here. I'm actually lowering the vehicle, and it's going to tell you up here on the dashboard. I'm going to hit the button to raise the vehicle, and there you go. You can see that it's changing the height once again. Very, very nice and easy to use. And even though I forgot to close that down there, notice right here, of course, you've got the start button right there for the engine. Over here you have kind of a similar button, but its functionality is for the lower and upper glove box. Now the upper glove box, you have to open that yourself, but that just kind of shows you what is there. And of course you have your two center screens here. Very, very high-tech looking screens, by the way. Everything nice and easy to find depending on what you want to use. Of course, you saw there you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so obviously that's available here. And if you don't like the position of your screen or the background, you can change the color right here. We'll change that to a different color, kind of a night mode. Takes just a second there. And if you don't like the position, that's what the plus and minus are for. You're just going to hold that down until it kind of pulses its way to where you want it to be. And if you have a glare, that's a good way to fix that problem depending on the situation. And of course your lower screen as well, you can push on these buttons at the top, or options I should say, and probably a little bit, see if I can get you a better angle there. But you can make adjustments to the air conditioner or to the seats here, and you can push here on the screen to turn the seats on to heated and or cooled. And you can also do the same thing down here with the dial. As you can see, I'm going down to the cooled seats now, or you can go up to heated, something we don't need today because it is rather warm here in Northwest Louisiana. Even though 69 degrees probably seems pretty comfortable, but we've got a lot of humidity, so it's a little bit on the warm side. And when it comes to selecting modes on the screen, you can use your dial right here to select modes, and as I turn that, you're going to see the different modes that are available come up on the screen depending on what you want to drive in. Or if you want to let the vehicle automatically select those for you, just push that down. Now it's going to select it automatically depending on what your situation is and what the terrain is like. Of course, the electric parking brake, but here's something that I like, at least when it's nice and warm outside especially. You do have the refrigerated console, and you have two different settings on that. You got low, you can turn it off, or you've got it on high, and that actually does really work very, very well. More USB ports, place for your memory card. There are just so many great features here with this particular model. And of course you do have a nice heads-up display. I'm hoping you can see that well on the screen. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to get that to show up with the camera, but as you can see, I think you can see that. Nice heads-up display. So very, very nice, very easy to use, very simple vehicle to navigate all the way around. But why don't we get out on the road and see exactly how this model drives. Okay guys, we're gonna get out on the road here. And I must say, I really like the combination. This is actually, at least according to the Monroney label or the Windows sticker, a wood and leather wrapped steering wheel. The steering wheel is nice and comfortable. It is heated. Not that I have that on today. It's going to be a while before I probably would do that in one of these vehicles. But here as I drive down the road, and I know from the angle where I have the camera, you probably can't see the heads-up display, but it is nice and bright, at least while I'm in the shadow right here of these trees as I'm driving down the road. But I can tell you that acceleration is not a problem with this model. I just drop the hammer. You can probably see that the vehicle really kind of changed its attitude and really squatted down and got to moving pretty good there. Now, it's not going to accelerate super fast necessarily, although it depends on what mode we're driving in. We'll go to dynamic mode and see how that works. Try it one more time here. Yeah, I can definitely tell the difference when I go into dynamic mode. And I like the fact that the steering is fairly tight. That's always a good thing, because that way the feedback is going to be good and you don't have a vehicle that tends to want to wander around on the road because there's a little bit of slop in the steering wheel. I recently reviewed a vehicle that had quite a bit of slop in the steering wheel. In fact, that particular vehicle is known for that. And once you get used to something like that, I guess it may not necessarily be a bad thing. But for somebody who is into high performance and likes to really have a good feel for what a vehicle's doing, that makes a difference in that respect. And of course, one of the big advantages to these Land Rover Range Rovers is the size of the windows, whether it's the windshield or the side windows or even the rear door back there that we looked at earlier, the big rear window back there. This vehicle is super easy to see out of, and I'm really, really enjoy driving these down the road because of that very fact. Of course, when it comes to acceleration and braking, we're going to just cruise on down the road here just a little bit here. Speed up just a little bit. Dive on the brakes a little. I like the fact that when I dove on the brake pedal pretty hard there, even though the vehicle did kind of nosedive just a little bit, it wasn't bad. I could tell the brakes are balanced in such a way that it'd be easy to maintain control. Some vehicles, if you slam on the brakes, they tend to kind of start moving around on the road a little bit. I actually reviewed one like that not long ago as well. But some of that is going to have to do with lane keep assist as well. So depending on what your situation is, let's just say not that you would ever take a Westminster out on the track and run it on a road course or anything like that, but if you did, you definitely want to turn lane keep assist off, because if it does kind of start moving around, that's going to exaggerate that point that much more. Overall ride quality is definitely high in this Westminster. Even though you can't really tell, and this particular area of the road that we're on is nice and smooth, but the first section we were on that wasn't paved, such as what we were just on, that is one of the worst roads I drive on, whether it's in my test drives or just daily commuting. This is the part of town I live in, so I frequent all of these areas quite often and basically know where every little bump is in the road. But I can tell you that I am very impressed at how this Range Rover handles the bumps on the road. One of the things that I do want to touch on that is so nice about any of these Land Rover vehicles, the modern day models at least, is the way that they're set up for so many different driving conditions. And a lot of people might say, well, I'm never going to take mine off-road or anything, you know, take it out in the sand or up into the mountains or anything like that. That's okay. The big advantage to having those kind of capabilities is that it helps you in situations just like what I'm dealing with right now, just driving down the road kind of out in a rural area, but it's going to help the vehicle to stay balanced and all that good stuff. And while it has the technology to transfer power to the wheels that need it the most, even though that's meant for using it in, say, a rock climbing situation, if you wind up with two wheels that are off the ground and two that have contact, it's going to send power to the wheels that have contact with the ground so that you can keep moving forward. Well, essentially, when you're driving around town, maybe in bad weather or there's flooding or whatever the case may be, you can take advantage of those exact same qualities and features. You're just driving around town, and that is one of the greatest features of the capabilities of these Land Rovers. Thank you all for taking the time to watch today's video, guys. I really appreciate it. And again, if I can get my hands on the vehicles you want to see me feature here on my YouTube channel, I will definitely do that. Tell me what they are down in the comments. Sometimes it's a little bit easier said than done. I do look forward to a big surprise that I have coming in February. Make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but make sure you are subscribed and turn on the bell notifications so you will know what that is, because it's gonna be awesome. I appreciate my friends at the dealership for kindly loaning me this model for the day, as they always do. It's just so nice to be able to run by and just pick things up. And all of you guys for watching my videos. You're the ones that make this possible. Thank you for your support. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Have a great day.